It is time now, ladies and gentlemen, for a visit from that famous mystic,
Karnak, the Magnificent.
Thank you, Sally. May a camel with a terrible kidney disease find your golf bag.
That's great because I need a new one. I appreciate that, oh, divine one. Question 1.
Our first answer is a standing rib roast, a 28-pound turkey, and Jim Fitzgerald.
A standing rib roast, a 28-pound turkey, and Jim Fitzgerald.
Name 3 things that are notoriously difficult to roast.
And I would say that's true, and we will do that tonight.
It is no surprise that the first heat tonight is electing to honor our favorite professional, Jane Fitzgerald's husband. Jane Fitzgerald's husband has devoted his career to teaching those not only the game of golf, but the traditions that follow throughout. It's no surprise that, what? Call him by his name, Jim? Nobody knows him as Jim. Jane's the rock star of that family, on and off the course.
I just want to bring up 3 points to you, Jim, this evening. Number 1, remember I'm your senior. I've been through a few of these anniversary things before. Second, Brendan Walsh and I beat you and Luke in the Par Cup competition a few years ago. Just to help you remember, here's a little picture of us with the Par Cup in the middle, and it's sandwiched by the U.S. Amateur Championship and Ryder Cup trophy. Just thought this might add a little salt to the wound. And last, Jim, just remember, you really wouldn't be where you are today if it wasn't for Jane.
You know, I call Jim the perfect pro because I have seen what a great guy he is, but he is always Mr. Perfect, never makes a mistake, never has a hair out of place. Shirt is always tucked in, creased, pants. I mean, my goodness, how do the rest of us mere mortal golf pros live up to this standard that Jim Fitzgerald has set? I roomed with him one time on a golf trip. About 5:45 in the morning, I'm woken up and I hear this huffing and puffing. And I look over and I'm thinking, where's Jim? Where's Jim? It's dark, I can barely see. And I look down on the floor and there Jim is doing push-ups on a golf trip. Holy smoking Joe Frazier. How can I compete with the perfect pro when I'm just the pro from Kokomo?
No matter who he was talking to, no matter what the subject of conversation, Jim would always try and work in the fact that his waist size is the same today as it was in high school. So for instance, hey Jim, great round today. Yeah, thanks. More than double my waist size though, which is the same as it was in high school. Or, hey Jim, you think it's going to be cold today? Yeah, but probably not as low as my waist size, which is the same as it was in high school. And I can guarantee you that right now, he's turning to someone at his table and he's saying, it really is. It really is the same as it was in high school.
Do all of you know that he is the original French fry stealer? For 11 years, he would pilfer the French fries directly off my plate. Never once did he order his own French fries. He would sit over there on the other side of the table with a nice, healthy salad, only to be figuring a way to devise a plan to steal the French fries directly from my plate. To this day, it still continues, and I know that for a fact.
I do want to thank you for that golf cart incident about 25 years ago with Josh Hartman that you never really told my parents about. That really meant a lot.
I don't want to talk about all the times I've sampled clothing in your golf shop and you didn't like it, and how I was a little slow in scoring in that incident by the Bill Hardy Plaque Tournament scoreboard. And we don't want to go back over the time in which you and Hoffman got me sick smoking cigars.
This is a picture of Jim and I on one of our golf trips. I met Jim about 31 years ago when he came to Chevy Chase as the head golf professional. You couldn't ask for anyone better. Buttoned down, hospitable, can really play some golf, but there's really two sides to Jim. Here's the first time I went on a golf trip with him. Couldn't believe how he unpacked his bag. Pretty shocking. Sometimes he's hard to get up in the morning. Pretty embarrassing. But, you know, a cup of coffee, Jim is ready to go. Next thing you know, he's out on the tee. Wow, he looks great, doesn't he? And he can really swing. However, he sometimes hits it off the mark a little bit, but at the punch bowl at Mountain Lake, he was able to get up and down for a birdie from here.
So in this one particular a USGA event down at the Homestead at the Cascades. Jim was on the bag, and I was not playing well at all that day, and it can be very rough on a caddy. And on one particular hole, I hit my drive in a terrible spot, and I didn't know what I was going to do, where I was going, so I left the bag. I went up the hill to take a look at the shot, and when I walked back to the bag, it was not a short walk, when I walked back to the bag, Jim had disappeared. Out of there. Gone. I couldn't go look for him. I didn't know. I had to hit the shot. I didn't know where he went. Didn't tell me he was leaving. But he was gone. Did show up on the next tee. Very nonchalant.
Every single lesson, no matter what we were working on, you always told me to exaggerate. You would say it over and over and over again, exaggerate, exaggerate, exaggerate. It was just so ingrained in my head.
Even though you might be the second best player in your family, and Jane might have to give you a few shots when you guys go out and play, there's nobody else I'd rather have to have taught me the game of golf.
We all know Jim is very proud of his game. However, in 1994 he was playing in the Kemper Open, played very well the first day, and Sidney Hamlet, our dear friend, may he rest in peace, came in to jump in Jim's car to go to the course on Friday early in the morning. And Jim's in there bending his golf clubs trying to gain an advantage. He wasn't happy with the way he had struck the ball the day before, and unfortunately Jim did not make the cut due to the fact that he was too busy tinkering with equipment.
Question number 2, oh great soothsayer.
Thank you. The answer is a good lie.
A good lie. Something that's important in many aspects of life.
What do you call it when Jim says, "Take your time playing this round, we've got all day"?
Now, while there are a number of stories over the last 30 years that would be a good choice, none can equal your Academy Award-winning performance on your first trip when you agreed to play a 16 handicap real estate salesman from Rockville in order to teach a lesson to a Mark who had an unreasonably high opinion of himself and his golf game. Now, those of you who have played golf with Jim know how difficult an assignment that was, to convert his beautiful swing to that of a pedestrian 16 handicap golfer. But he did it almost perfectly. Now, why almost? Well, he did his job well enough with a series of unorthodox swings and a few water balls at Doral to convince the Mark that he was indeed having the round of his life. But he didn't do it well enough to avoid posting a 68 at the end of the day. Well, in any event, the Mark was bitching and moaning about having to pay the bet that he kept doubling down on all afternoon. He even accused Jim of being a sandbagger. But when the Mark exchanged business cards with Jim at dinner that night and saw PGA Professional on his card, he turned a bright, bright shade of red and claimed that he knew all along. But we knew better, especially Jim.
In 1994, my husband Jim received a phone call from Metro Golf magazine, a local golf magazine at the time, and he was invited or asked if he and his family wouldn't mind appearing or being featured in the golf magazine wearing the clothing for the fall issue. And Jim called me up to see if I would like to do that, and I said, sure, that sounds like fun. So the 4 of us went, and we had our pictures taken with the new fall clothing, and the issue came out a couple months later. And Jim had a lot of nice phone calls about it, and Jim received one phone call in particular from a friend of his, and also a person who worked for IZOD at the time, Jimmy Glass. And Jimmy Glass gave Jim a call, and he said, Jim, saw the issue with you and Jane on the cover, and it looked really great. Kids look great. Really, really nice. Congratulations. Very nice. Well done. And then he said, but I thought I'd better let you know that the magazine, the cover, the outfit that you're wearing on the cover, that's actually a woman's outfit.
she told the pants story? Amazing. And I can follow up on that. Many of you don't believe that Jim ever lets his hair down. But trust me, when his flip-flops hit the island of Nantucket, it's like the full moon for the werewolf. Brian Fitzgerald and I have taken a number of golf trips with Jim to Nantucket, and it's a blizzard of breakfast sandwiches, sweet rolls, golf, beers, more golf, cocktails. One night, the story of the golf magazine came up, and Jim took a big pull on his cigar. He said, you know, I didn't like the cover, but I really liked those pants. I looked at Brian, Brian looked at me. We ran to the guest room and locked the door behind us. I don't think we slept at all that night.
It's been great having you as a friend. You're a great mentor, a great leader for all of us, and I'd like to thank you for that. And you know what? Here's to you. Enjoy a French fry on me.